Hello, Soberinos, and welcome to this week's Friday Fix. Today I'm starting with a question, and the question is, let me make sure I've got it right. What simple things in life do you notice yourself enjoying more of when you're living your life alcohol-free? And I'm asking this question because last week in the Go Get Sober group on the Facebook group, there were quite a few people who were commenting on how since they've stopped drinking, they've kind of opened their eyes, they've opened their lives to experiencing and taking pleasure in experiencing the simple things in life. There were people talking about the satisfaction of a hot cup of tea and listening to the rain outside, to enjoying a slice of melon and cups of coffee and all sorts of other things that people were commenting on that were really simple things in life that they were taking great pleasure from, and that this was kind of a surprise. This was kind of something to be noted, something to be celebrated, something to be acknowledged, because in removing alcohol from our lives, we open up the doors to be able to really experience simple pleasures that we wouldn't, or that we perhaps wouldn't have noticed when we were drinking. So the question for today is, what simple things in life do you notice that you're taking pleasure in when you're living your life alcohol free? Now, I've got lots of answers I could give to that question. There are so many. But something that struck me recently this week is that I've started to take great pleasure in, it doesn't happen every day, in the days or the mornings where I make an effort to get dressed properly. Now, that's something I wouldn't have heard myself saying a couple of years ago, but since COVID, since lockdown, I've developed, as I guess have most of us or lots of us, a habit of kind of not bothering with getting properly dressed, not bothering to do any makeup, not bothering with how I look or how I appear, because I'm not going to be seeing anybody all day because I'm working from home. And I've noticed that I'm, like this morning, for instance, because I knew I was recording a couple of videos yesterday because I had a couple of Teams calls at work. I made an effort to do my hair, to put a little bit of makeup on, only a little, not much, and to sort of dress properly, to dress in a way that I would feel comfortable if somebody knocked at the door, if I had a meeting or something. So, and this gives me great pleasure. It's a really simple thing, but I noticed myself this morning really feeling happy about the fact I was putting on a nice skirt, that I was wearing a nice top, that I was bothering with a bit of jewelry and a little bit of makeup, that I was taking care of how my hair was looking. And I was feeling good about it. This was making me feel happy. It was making me feel a sense of contentment and pleasure. And it's a tiny, simple thing, feeling a little bit of excitement or pleasure about getting dressed in the morning and dressing nicely or in a way that you think is going to be presentable. It made me feel happy. It's a really simple thing, but it made me feel happy. And I wonder what that is for you. What are the simple things for you that give you a sense of happiness, a sense of pleasure? A really simple thing that perhaps you wouldn't have paid any attention to, or you wouldn't have noticed when you were drinking. I know certainly for me, in the days when I was drinking, nothing gave me pleasure unless alcohol was involved. I wouldn't have been able to have considered that something as simple as getting dressed nicely in the morning would give me any kind of sense of pleasure or any kind of sense of well-being, because the only thing that I could have contemplated giving me any sense of well-being was alcohol. So what things is it for you? Is it eating a slice of melon? Is it having a hot cup of tea while it's raining outside? Is it looking outside and seeing the sunrise? Is it going for a walk by the lake and breathing in some fresh air? What simple things in life are giving you pleasure when you're living your life sober? I would love to know. Is there anything else I want to say? Oh, yes, there is actually. Good job I checked my notes. Yeah, there is. Sometimes these simple pleasures in life, these moments, excuse me, these moments where we're deriving some pleasure in the simple things can very often be fleeting, and they can very often go unnoticed because we're not paying attention to them. Or we might notice in the moment that we're feeling some kind of pleasure or enjoyment, but we're not really paying attention to it enough, so it just kind of disappears. One of the things you can do to help yourself stay motivated about remaining sober, to help yourself stay inspired, to help yourself stay positive, is to actually consciously pay attention to those moments. And one of the ways you can do that is to actually record them in some way. So that might be something as simple as posting in this group, posting in the Facebook group about a moment where you had some kind of simple pleasure, something that put a smile on your face, and you're recording it and you're sharing it with the group. In fact, sharing these moments can be a really powerful thing, because not only does it record it for you and it helps you to remember it, and it helps it to kind of permeate the rest of your life and to be something substantial that you carry with you and that help you develop a more positive attitude to living your life sober. But it also can have an impact on other people. When you share these moments with other people, it helps other people to notice and recognize these moments in their own lives too. So by noticing it and paying attention to it, you help to carry it with you. So posting in a group like this is one way of doing that. Keeping some kind of reflective journal, keeping a record, is another way of doing it. Some people will keep a gratitude journal where at the end of each day they'll record 3 or 5 things that they've noticed during their day that have caused them some kind of pleasure, some kind of joy. So that can be a good way of doing that. What else did I have on my list? Some people, if you're artistic or a creative kind of person, you might like to write a little poem at the end of each day that keeps a record of all the pleasurable moments that you've had. Some people might like to do scribbles or artwork or drawing. Some people might like to take photos to keep to somehow capture those moments in some kind of way. There are lots of different ways we can capture the moments, but by capturing the moments and recording them, we're allowing ourselves to pay more attention to them. And in paying more attention to these moments, we're helping ourselves to feel motivated, inspired, and positive about living our lives sober. So it's a really good habit to get into. So, one of the ways that I do this actually is through blogging and vlogging. Obviously, I've got a massive library of these blogs and vlogs, which I've been doing on a daily and weekly basis since, oh my God, for about 6 years. And that for me works really, really well, because I have got a catalogue of these videos of Friday fixes, of other blogs, other videos, that I can look back on at any time, and they are full of positivity. They are full of memories and moments that have brought me great joy and that have been real milestones in my sober life. So blogging and vlogging is another way to do it if you're so inclined. If you're interested in coming along to our next live session, keep your eyes peeled for information appearing below. Watch this space. I'm trying to alternate them between a Saturday morning UK time and an evening, because I think the mornings are quite tricky for people who live in the States to attend those morning sessions. So I'm trying to alternate them so you get an opportunity to attend the live sessions at a time that's more convenient to you if you live in the United States. So watch this space, and hopefully you will see a time coming up that will be good for you to be able to join us. So I will look forward to seeing you at the next one. If you're not a guidance member and you want to come along, do visit the Go Get Sober website. I'll put a link below somewhere. And you can join up. It's really super affordable, super accessible. You can join up, you can become a guidance member, and then you get access to a massive wealth of resources, including the online coaching program, including the live sessions. And we would love to have you join us. We would love to see you joining us and to share the experience with us on this journey into fantastic sobriety, liberating, joyful, freeing sobriety. So do join us if you can. I will look forward to catching up with you in tomorrow's Saturday share. But in the meantime, let's go get sober together. Bye.